the end of the academic writing notes are these practice passages. Some of them will be on the quiz. You will probably be able to figure out the answer to these on your own, but just in case, if you aren't in class or this is an online section, you have this video you can refer to at a later date. So what we're going to do, we have these short scenarios, and we want to be able to describe the rhetorical context of each of them using the rhetorical context concepts that we learned earlier in the notes. So we'll take this first one. You oppose the city council's plans to redistrict your neighborhood to allow a massage parlor, quote, massage parlor, we know what that means, to be opened in a strip mall down the street from your child's school. You attend a city council meeting, prepare a statement for a portion of the meeting when the public has the floor. What is the circumstance? Well, why are you motivated to create this statement? The circumstance is to protest or to voice concern because of a establishment going in a neighborhood that you're uncomfortable with. That's what's causing you to do it. If the so-called massage parlor wasn't going to be put in, you wouldn't bother to make this message. What is the general genre? Well, it says prepare a statement. So it might be written, but its primary delivery is going to be verbal. And the specific genre is probably, we would call it an argument, or we would call it a persuasive statement. It's going to be persuasive no matter what, because you obviously don't want it to go in, the massage parlor to go in. What is its general purpose? The general purpose is to convince, and the specific purpose is to convince the city council to stop the massage parlor from going in. Who's your intended audience? Well, it is the city council themselves. It's the people who sit on that board. It might be the other neighbors there who are attending, but mostly it's them because they're going to be the ones voting on it. The tone is an adjective. You should sound respectful and concerned. The formality, I would probably make this formal, not semi-formal, formal. And then in terms of your point of view, it's going to be very appropriate for you to say I and we. It's probably not a good idea to remain in the second person or the third person. You want to take a balanced stance to this. You want to say, look, here are the concerns, and this is why we are concerned. Maybe provide a little evidence as to crime rates and that sort of thing, or the type of clientele that might be attracted to a massage parlor and how close it is to a primary school. In terms of the level of your personal influences, your culture, your politics, your ethics, it would be appropriate to give some of that because certainly you represent the kind of person that lives in that neighborhood, and you possibly represent other parents who have similar opinions. So that's number one. Number two, the scenario says, it's in the semester in your abnormal psychology class. You're finishing up a research paper worth 1/3 of your final grade. The subject you have chosen is violent behavior in 18 to 25-year-olds. The title of your paper is The Correlation Between Violent Behavior, Hormone Imbalances, and Low IQ. So what is the circumstance under which you are putting this paper together? It's because it's a requirement for a college-level psychology class. What is the general genre? The general genre is going to be written. We know that because it is a research paper. And what is the specific genre? It is a research paper, a documented research paper. You could be more specific and say social behavioral research paper if you wanted. What's its general purpose? It looks like the general purpose is to inform. This kind of research is basically you're re-reporting, summarizing, and paraphrasing the research done by other researchers in that field. And the specific purpose is to document that correlation. So correlation is relationship. It's not cause and effect per se. Who's the intended audience? Well, like we set up earlier in the notes, it's going to be the professor for this class as well as the general college educated reader. What adjective in terms of tone, respectful, scholarly, that sort of thing. Tone of formality should probably be semi-formal or academic formal. Point of view would be in third person. No first person and no second person. The stance should be balanced. You're going to present the research findings and you're going to summarize them and possibly comment on them. The level of personal influences from you, your culture, your politics, your ethics, they do not go on this paper. They don't belong on the paper. Yeah, that's number 2. Let's look at number 3. You want to send a donation to your member of the state representative That sentence doesn't make sense, does it? You want to send a donation to your member of the state House of Representatives. And a note thanking him for supporting your property tax reform. So what is the circumstance under which you would be writing that note? Well, the circumstance is you've had an elected official do something you approve of, otherwise you wouldn't be writing the note. What is the general genre? It is written because it's a thank you note. What is the specific? It's a thank you note. That's a specific. It's a personal thank you note. What is the general purpose? The general purpose is basically self-expression or to express oneself through gratitude and maybe a little persuasion, maybe, since you're sending a donation as well. And what is the specific purpose? The specific purpose is to express your thanks for this elected representative doing something you agree with. What's the next thing? I got to scroll up. Purpose. Oh, audience. Who's the audience? It's the state representative. And what tone should you take? In this case, it should be a positive tone, a grateful tone, also respective. And I would write it as formal. Even though it is maybe a handwritten note, it should be written formally since it is an elected official. And then in terms of your influences, I would write this in the first person, singular, I, me, that kind of thing. I would also, and you can say you, obviously, I think you, and you have done a good job. You can use second person there. And in terms of your stance, this is going to be more of a subjective stance since you are expressing gratitude. And in terms of your personal influences, those would definitely, if you needed to remark on, if you're a parent or if you're a property owner or if you're this political party or whatever, that would be appropriate. So that's number 3. Let's look at number 4. In number 4, after 8 weeks of lectures in an American history class, you take a 2-hour midterm exam. One of the questions asks you to discuss the similarities of the resistance in 1856 Congress faced from anti-abolitionists. Those were the people that did not want to get rid of slavery. To the resistance in 1964 Congress faced from the anti-civil rights activists. Those were the people who didn't want to get rid of Jim Crow laws. And to the resistance in 2009 Congress faced from anti-health care reform activists. Those are the people that didn't want the Affordable Health Care Act passed. So what is the circumstance? Why are you writing your answers in this 2-hour midterm exam? Writing your answers to this question? Because it's a requirement for a college level history class. What is the general genre? It's going to be written. You're writing out your answers to the question. What is the specific genre? It's an essay question response, an essay exam question response. What is your general purpose? It's basically to inform. You're just going to outline those similarities of the 3 different types or the 3 instances of resistance. What is your specific purpose? Your purpose is to draw similarities between these 3 resistant acts carried out in Congress on these different social issues. Who's your primary intended audience? It is your professor of your class as well as a general college educated adult, reading adult. What is the tone? Again, respectful, scholarly. What is the formality? Semi-formal. Point of view should be in the third person point of view. You should not rely on first person plural or singular or third or second person. You should take a balanced stance, present the details, the facts, and make comments on the similarities. And what of your personal influences, of your culture, politics, and ethics, they don't belong in the answer. Okay, so those are the answers for this first practice on rhetorical context, and I'll do another video shortly here on practice with the standards of academic writing.